Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan Carlos Monsalve. Today is November 21st, 2023. The time of this recording is 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are going to play another show of Baccarat today. This free information is for entertainment purposes only. If you decide to use any of my strategies, please be mindful that they may not work 100% of the times and that you may lose money. The name of the game again is Baccarat. And for all the scorecards, you can visit my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. You can support my channel at buymeacoffee.com /juancarlosmonsalve. Or you can PayPal me at paypal.me /juancarlosmonsalve12. My Cash App, you can also use Cash App. I say $ Juan Carlos Monsalve. Please give it a like to this video, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you get the notifications of new videos. Share this video in your personal social media. You can sit back and observe. We will continue playing our regular um, yeah, money management strategy. I call it Monsalve betting strategy. We start with $25. We are looking to win at least 5 original units or at least $125 per session. It's a kind of a martingale betting system. The only thing is that we don't reset back to 1 unit after a win. We keep betting the same amount, hoping that we're going to get a winning streak so we can make more money. We stop after a loss. If we have a loss and we already reached our 5 units target, that's when we quit betting. Um, we still continue playing the shoe until the end, but we just don't put any more money, bet any more money. When I'm at the casino, when I finish or I complete my target, I leave the table. I don't stay. I don't continue to write down the game or anything like that. Just leave the table. The bets are as follows. First one is $25. If I lose 50, if I lose 100, if I lose 200, if I lose 400, 800, 1600, 3200, and 5000. 5000 usually when the minimum bet is 25, the maximum bet for the table is 5000. If that's the case, we assume that we don't have any limits on funds. So um, So this is a regular spreadsheet that I use to collect the data. P equals 1, blue, that's for player. B equals -1 is banker and is red. T for tie equals 0. This is my play. I already know how I'm going to play this shoe all the way to the end. On the right side of the screen, the win is number 1 and it's a blue. And if I lose, it's going to be a -1. I use 1 and -1 just to be able to do math. Um, and I have different scorecards that I keep here for your use. I don't exactly use the same strategy from this. I use something similar to be able to come up with this strategy when it says my play. But it's very similar, and I have 10 different scorecards here besides the one that we collect here or vertically, player, banco, all the way down to the end. Again, for all the scorecards, visit my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. And this strategy is my second best strategy. These strategies are live because every time that I play a new shoe, it may change the numbers. But as of right now, this is today's. It may be different than yesterday, a little bit. It may not be a huge change in the strategy, in the position of every bet, but it's very similar. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up or like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, share the video, sit back and observe. We're going to start this shoe. We start with burning one card. This is a three of spades. So we burn that card plus three more. Three of spades. We type the information here, and then we will continue with the first hand. Here is the discard tray, and the first hand. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has zero and gets a third card. The third card is a five, and banker has a four. And when he gets any card from two to seven, player third card, then he gets a third card. The third card is a zero. So the first hand is a player. So 5-0. This is a player hand. I was playing player, so I won this hand. I won the first $25. My next bet is gonna be also a player. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a five and banker has four. Player, the third card is a four for a total of nine. And banker has a four, and when he gets a four, anything from two to seven gets a third card, and the third card is a five. So 4 plus 5 equals 9. So 9, 9. This is a tie. This is a tie hand. The second hand was a tie. Next hand, first card for player. First card for player. First card for banker. Player. Banker. Player has one, and banker has two. The player gets a five for a total of six. So six player, and banker has two plus two, 4. So banker has a 4. This is a player hand. I was betting a banker, so I lost this hand. I lost $25. Now I don't have the first $25 that I won. I just lost it. Next hand, first card for player. First card for banker, player, banker. Player has a 5 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so it remains at 5. Banker has a 2 and it gets another 2. So player 5, banker 4. That was another player. And I was betting banker, so I lost this hand because I lost the previous hand of $25. When I lose, I double the money. That was $50 that I lost. This is calculated automatically. I was able to make some adjustments um, to the formula. Every scenario has to be included in the formula, so it may be that if the scenario that happened during the game has not happened before, I may have to adjust it manually and then work work to fix it in the formula. Uh, the next hand, we have one for player, and the third card is a 9 for a total of 0. And banker had a natural 9, so this card it belongs to the next hand. So one player, a natural 9 banker, and that was a banker hand. I was playing player, and I lost the hand. I lost $100. It's a double than the previous amount of the 50. Um, Next hand is gonna be twice that amount. It's gonna be 200, and I'm gonna be betting player. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 6 and it stands. Banker has a 7 and it stands, and it wins that hand. That is a banker hand. I was playing player and I lost the hand. I lost $200. Now I am down $350. Next hand, I'm going to be betting on banker. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now banker has a natural 8 and banker has a 2. So this is a banker hand. I was playing banker. I won this hand. I won twice as what I lost before. The 200. I just won 400. Now I'm at $50 because I won the hand. I haven't reached my target of 5 units of 125. So I keep playing. So my next hand, I'm going to be betting banker. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 and a stance. Player gets a third card. The third card is a 7 for a total of 2. 2, 7. That was a banker hand. I was playing banker. So I won this hand. I won another 400. So now I'm up 450. Because if I'm winning, I will keep playing until I have a loss, and if after I have a loss I already reach my target, so I will leave the table or stop betting. So my next hand, I'm gonna be betting player, and player has a 0 and gets a third card. The third card is an 8. Player banker has 2 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so it remains at 2. So 8 player. Banker has 2, and that was a player hand. I was betting player, so I won this hand. I won another $400. Now I'm at 850. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now banker has a natural 8, and player has a 0. So this is a banker hand. I was betting banker. I won this hand. I won $400. Now I am up to 1250, 1250. Then my next hand is going to be player. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Now player has 2 and banker has 4. Player gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so player gets remains at 2, and banker doesn't get any more cards, so gets 4. I was a banker hand. I was playing player, so I lost this hand, so I lost $400 from the 1250, less 400. Now I am at 850 because I just lost this hand, and because I already reached my target, so I will stop playing. This is hand number 11. So I made it $850 on 11 hands. I play all the hands. I try to play from the beginning. Sometimes casinos they burn some free hands. They call it free hands at the beginning. I try to get from the beginning and make my money from the beginning when not every player is playing. So people just wait a few hands before they start playing. They like to start from the beginning. And my next play is going to be player. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has 1 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so it remains at 1. And banker has 4, no more card for banker, so I lost this hand. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. The player has 2 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0. Banker has a 4, so 2, 4. That was a banker hand. I was playing player and I lost this hand. I'm not betting. After this, I quit this 850. So the calculator is telling me no more bets. So I'm not betting anymore. I'm just collecting the data for for future shoes. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural A banker. And player has a 0. So that was a banker hand. I was playing player. I lost his hand. Again, no more bets. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Now banker has a natural 8, and the player has a 0. So this is a banker hand. I was playing banker. I won this hand. This other column here, it tells me how many hands I'm up or down on this shoe. It says that I'm losing 2 hands, 2 more hands. I'm losing 2 more hands of those of what I have won. But it doesn't matter since I'm already out of betting. I'm not betting anymore on this shoe. Next hand is a natural 8. Banker has a 1. Natural 8 player and 1 banker. So this is a player hand. I was very player, so I won the hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a natural 7. Excuse me. Banker has a 7. Player has 7. So 7-7. This is a tie. I usually don't play ties when I play at the casino or any of the side bets. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 and it stands. Player has a 3 plus 5, total 8. So 8 player, banker 7. This is a player hand. I was playing player, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player now has a natural 8. Banker has a 0. That was a player hand. I was betting banker, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 7 and it stands. Banker has a 1 and gets a third card, and the third card is an 8 for a total of 9. So 7 player, 9 banker. This is a banker hand. I was playing player, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 and it stands. And player gets a third card, and the third card is a 2 for a total of 7. So 7-7. Another tie. On top, we see the results. We have 7 players, 11 bankers, and 3 ties for a total of 21 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 banker and a 3 player. So this is a banker hand. I was playing player, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. So now player has a natural 9, player has a 1. That was a player hand. I was playing player, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 1 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so it remains at 1. And banker has a 0, and the third card is another 0, so 1-0. So that was a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a natural 9, banker has a 0. So 9-0, that was a player hand. I was betting player, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 6 and a stance, banker has a 5 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0. So 6 player and 5 banker. There is another player hand. I was betting player, so I won this hand. My next bet is gonna be a banker. So first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now player has a natural 8, banker has a 3. So this is a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost his hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 on his stance. Player gets a third card. The third card is a 7, so there is another tie. 7, 7. That's another tie. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 2 and banker has a 5. Player gets a third card, gets a 5 for a total of 7. And banker gets when the third card is anything from 4 to 7, gets a third card. So the third card is a 6. So 7, 1. So that was a player hand. I was betting player. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. That's a natural A banker. Player has a 2. That was a banker hand. I was betting, was playing player, and I lost the hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3 and gets a third card. The third card is a 3 for a total of 6. And banker has a 4 with anything from 2 to 7 gets a third card. And the third card is a 5 for a total of 9. 6, 9. That was a banker hand. I was playing banker. I won that hand. And next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 0 and banker has a 3. Player gets a third card and he gets a 0. And banker has a 3 and gets a third card. The third card is a 2 for a total of 5. So banker 5, player 0. So that was a banker hand. I was playing banker. So I won that hand. Now we are even in the number of hands won or lost. Okay, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 in his stance. Player gets a third card. It's a 5 for a total of 7. So 7 players, 7 banker. This is another tie. We have 5 ties on this shoe so far out of 33 hands. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has a natural 8 and banker has a 2. That was a player hand. I was betting player, so I won that hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3 and gets a third card. Banker has a 3 as well. So 3 plus 9 equals 2. And banker has a 3 and he gets a third card. The only time that he doesn't get a third card is if we get an 8. So yes, we get a third card and the third card is a 6 for a total of 9. So 3 plus 6, 9. So this is a banker hand. I was betting player, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 6, player has 0, and player has a 9, and banker has a 6. Doesn't get any more card, or he gets a third card if he has 6 or 7. Player third card. So this one was a player hand. I was betting player. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker now has a natural 9 and player has a 6. So 6 player, 9 banker. Banker won this hand. I was betting player. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 0. Banker has a 4. Player gets a third card, it's another 0, so it remains at 0. Because we have a 4 with the player third card of a 0, it doesn't get any more cards, so the banker remains at 4. It's a banker hand. I will bet in banker. I won this hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. The player has a 0, gets a third card. The third card is a 5. And banker has a 3 and gets a third card. The third card is an 8 for a total of 1. 8 plus 3 equals 1. So this is a player hand. I was betting banker. I lost this hand. Next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now natural 8 player. Banker has a natural 8 banker and 1 player. I was a banker hand. I was betting banker and I won that hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 1 and banker has a 0. Third card for player is a 9 for a total of 0. And banker gets a 0, so this is another tie hand. 0, 0. This is our tie number 6 on this shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player now has a natural 8. Banker has a 1. So A1, player won this hand. I was betting banker, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a natural 9. Banker has a 4. So that was a player hand. I was betting player and I won this hand. I'm gonna be betting banker the next two hands. First card player, first card banker, second card player, second card banker. I have a natural 8 player and a natural 9 banker. This is a banker hand. I was betting banker, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 4 and gets a third card. The third card is of another 4, so it goes to 8. And banker gets a third card, and the third card is an 8 for a total of 1. 8, 1. I was a player hand. I was betting banker, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 7 and it stands. Banker has a 6 and it stands, so 7, 6. Player won this hand. I was betting player. I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now player has a natural 9. Banker has a 1. So that was a player hand. I was betting banker, so I lost this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a natural, it has a 7, and bank has a 6. Both of them stand 6, 7, and 6. So that was a player hand. I was a betting player, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 2 and gets a third card. The third card is a 5 for a total of 7. 7, 6. So that was a player hand. I was a betting player, so I won this hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 2 and gets a third card. The third card is a 5 for a total of 7. Okay, I'm back. I have problems recording the shoe. Um, the second part of the shoe, I have to do 30 minute recordings, and this one, I think that I was in hand number 49. Unfortunately, it didn't record. Something happened with the recording, but the way that he played was seven players. Hand number 49, seven player, seven banker. That was a play. Uh, the tie hand, hand number 50-7-6, player hand, 51-7-4, 52-6-6, I wrote a tie, 53-4-2, player hand, 54-09, banker hand, 55-1 player, 0 banker, that was a player hand, 56-3-8, banker hand, 57-1-2, banker hand, 58-1-6, banker hand, 59-9-3, player hand, 60-9-8, player hand, hand 61, 09, banker hand, 62-6-4, player hand, 63-9-4, player hand, 64-02, banker hand, 65-01, banker hand, 66-39, banker hand, 67-83, player hand, 68-29, banker hand, 69-63, player hand, 70-07, backhand hand, 71-76, player hand, 72-77, that's a tie, 73-04, backhand hand, 74-78, backhand hand, 75-18, backhand hand, 76-45, backhand hand, 77-76, player hand. Um, the total of 77 hands. There were 34 players, 34 bankers, 9 dice for a total of 77. I have the scorecards on the right side of the screen. I already went over that, but I'm going to go over it again since it didn't get recorded. Um, so on this one, we won $850. $850, the maximum amount that we lost or that we were in the negative before we won a few hands in a row was 350 negative, and then we won 400, 400, 400, 400, then we lost 400. So because we lost here 400 and we already have reached our target of 5 units of 25, so in this case it was 850. So that's why we didn't keep betting. We completed the two, but not without betting. Um, the regular scorecards that I keep here that automatically populate when I'm entering the information on the left side. We have three bankers. We have three players here, three players. Every 10, I see four bankers, three bankers, four bankers, three players, three more, four players here, four players. Every 9, I see five players, four players, four players, four bankers, three bankers, three bankers. Every 8, I see five bankers here, five players here, four players, five players, three bankers, three more bankers. Every 7, I see here three bankers, three bankers, three bankers, four bankers, four players, five players. Every 6, I see here three bankers, three more bankers, four bankers, three players, three more players. Every 5, four players, three players, four bankers, three bankers, four players, three bankers, five players, three players, three more players here. Every 4, I see here three bankers, three more bankers, three players, 3, 6, 9 players in a row, three bankers, three players here. Every 3, I see four bankers, three bankers, three players, three more players, three, six players, three bankers, three more bankers, three, five bankers, three bankers, four players, three players, three more players, three more players, three bankers. I see here four bankers, and those are the different scorecards. For all the scorecards, don't forget you can visit my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. If you want to support my work, if you want to support my channel, you can do it at PayPal me, paypal.me / Juan Carlos Monsalve 12. You can go to the website buymeacoffee.com / Juan Carlos Monsalve, or Cash App at $Juan Carlos Monsalve. My YouTube channel is at Juan Carlos Monsalve 1652. My Facebook group, Baccarat Research. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up to this video, subscribe, ring the bell, share. When you watch these videos, just sit back and observe. Um, this is my second best strategy that I have, that I combine them. I use two different strategies. One when the two starts with the player, and one with the starts with the banker. Those are more precise strategies. I combine them. I will reveal to the first 1,000 subscribers to my channel. I will reveal those that I use. You can subscribe to my channel and send me a screenshot of the that you subscribe to the channel. You can send it to my email, juancarlosmonsalve12@gmail.com. And when I complete the 1,000 subscribers, I will send you the two strategies that I use, one for banker and one for player, that you can use if you want to use it. But that's the one that I use when I play at the casino. This is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching these videos. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Good night or have a good day. Depends on what time you're watching this video. Goodbye.